These roses have sharp pointies on them. I really need the gloves. Hey, what's up everybody? Paul here with St. Fiacre's Farm again. I'm out in my backyard today. We got a beautiful day going on here. It's like, I don't know, in the 60s. We got spring in full swing. Yesterday it was pouring down rain. Today it's pouring down sun. So I'm in the backyard looking at some rose bushes that I've had planted back here for a number of years. And I'm wanting to move them. We planted them back here because we were trying to convert this little hillside into a Mary garden, which we kind of accomplished, but there's so much moisture on this hillside that it's kind of just overwhelmed everything. And it seems like this is a topic that I'm always dealing with here on this little plot of ground of mine, is the moisture. And I'm telling you, this spot where we put this Mary garden, where we tried to grow some plants, is the wettest spot in the yard. Even in the middle of the summer, like last summer we had a drought. Well, right here it was still squishy and muddy on this hillside because the water is just squeezing out of the hill right here. These roses need to get out of here. They're really super unhealthy. They look horrible. And I don't know much about roses, but I do understand that they need well-drained soil. In fact, I think sandy soil is more like what a rose wants to have under its feet. This is anything but sandy soil or well-drained soil or anything like that. It's like swampy mud. And so obviously these roses are suffering. So today I'm gonna start digging them up and move them to a different spot. I have a different spot in the yard that, you know, everything around here is heavy clay, but I've got a spot in the yard that might drain a little better, and so I'm gonna move them over there. So I'll give you a look at some of these roses here before I start digging them up and show you what I'm talking about in terms of the moisture on the hillside. So check it out. Okay, so here's rose plant number one. Got a bunch of dead sticks in it. You can see right down in there. There's some live sprouts getting ready to come out. So it's still viable. Down here at the base of it, we're looking at lots of dead. You can see like all the grass and weeds. Plant number two needs to be cut back. This one section of it looks pretty darn strong. And again, down at the base, there go the weeds. And the last one right there. So let me see if I can give you a sample of the hillside here. This is like right, there's the rose bushes up there. Right below it here on the hill, just tipped over a rock. You can see the moisture in the ground underneath the rock, soaking wet under there. I've got a drain under the hill right here that drains all the water from the hillside around the house. Okay, I got 4 roses dug up. Anyway, you can see a lot better now what I'm talking about. Just how rough and ragged these things look. Got just heavy, gross, wet clay soil. All kinds of swampy weeds growing in there. I'm going to trim off all this dead stuff, cut these limbs back on here and try to make them look a little nicer, and then we'll get them planted in a different spot, which hopefully makes them happier. Alright, I'm out in front of the greenhouse here, and this is where I'm planning to put these roses. I've been working on little projects here in front of the greenhouse for the last year or so, putting some rocks around here on the hillside to try and dress it up a little bit, kind of define the aisleway coming into the door. Got some rock down. Anyway, this rock wall kind of frames in a nice little spot. It's raised up and hopefully drains a little better than that swampy spot in the back. So I'm going to put the roses in here. So you can see right here, I mentioned I had already put a couple of them out. Drop those in right there. So around the front up here, I'm going to add these other 4 roses. So, hey, I got myself some gloves and some snippers. These roses have sharp pointies on them. I really need the gloves. Okay, I got these roses moved. There's the 2 that I moved a week or 2 ago, and here's the others ranged along the front edge of the rocks here. Alright, so that concludes that part of moving these roses. I've got one more rose plant that we'd like to move here this spring, and it's a climbing rose, and the goal is to put it right here on the greenhouse, so it climbs over the arch of the greenhouse and should make it look really nice. I used to have a grapevine growing over the top of the greenhouse right there. It looked really cool, especially when there were grapes on it and they were all hanging down and ripening up. That was pretty cool. But that grapevine died, not sure why. It didn't like where it was, I guess. For the meantime, I'm going to take a break and get some water. It's roasting out here. Hopefully these rose plants that I just moved will like it better right here. I already noticed that the ground is definitely drier than it was on the hillside, so hopefully that's a promising sign. Anyway, there's probably some of you guys out there who know a lot more about roses than I do, and if you're one of those people, feel free to comment below and it'd be appreciated. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe for more growing, creating, and sipping videos. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this video here.